Hello, all. Give a few minutes for others to join us. Good to see you all joining us. Give a few minutes for others to find us. All right. Again, thank you all for joining us. A few minutes for others to find us and join us. All right, another minute or so, and we will get going with tonight's Bible study. Tonight we'll be looking at Luke, the 7th chapter, verse 36 through 50. Luke 7, 36 through 50. Okay, let's get ready to get going. Again, welcome to tonight's Bible study. It's a basic walk through the Bible, read through the Bible, and we'll give commentary from the Christian perspective. And you're free to leave comments and make comments along with us. If you follow along, Angie Jackson, she keeps really good notes with us. But you're free to add your own notes, and you're free to ask questions. I'll try to always answer questions after the live broadcast. So tonight we'll be looking at Luke 7 chapter, verse 36 through 50. I'm going to read the NIV version. And tonight's subject or title of tonight's lesson is going to be primed favor. Primed as in P-R-I-M-E-D, favor. Okay, primed favor is what we're going to look at tonight. All right, and we'll read as much of this as we can, or we'll skip about occasionally, and you can read it in its entirety. Now, this particular set of scripture, when we come to it, this is a story of a woman here who wasn't excelling very well in her life, but somehow came to realize that she could do better than she was doing. But society says she couldn't. And as a matter of fact, everybody in the town knew she couldn't, and she didn't have, and there was no reason why she should even expect to be doing better. The same thing can happen to you in life. You can find yourself in a situation where no one really expects you to do better. They know your history. They know all about you. You know, you failed here, you failed there. But that doesn't mean that there isn't an opportunity for you to meet Christ, to meet Jesus, to come into an awareness of who God is in your life, and you to do better. If no one else thinks you're worth it, you need to believe that you are worth it. Okay, you got it? Now, so that's why we're going to talk about prime faith. Prime favor. So we're going to look at prime favor, and what prime favor is, in kind of a nutshell of it, is prime favor is based upon a purposeful built relationship. So prime favor is based upon a purposefully built relationship. In other words, you build a relationship on purpose that causes the blessings to flow automatically from a position of strength towards you. So in other words, you build this relationship where what your needs are become met automatically because there's a strength in the relationship that you built. And when we talk about prime favor, it means here's where the blessings are on this side, and this is where you are on this side, and something helps them come together so you can get blessed. You get it? So I want you to watch for that as we read that tonight, where this woman does something that brings the relationship together and she gets blessed from it. That's what prime favor does. It brings it together and a blessing flows. All right, you got it? All right, and it flows to someone who really thinks they're not worth it. Okay, but God believes that you're worth it. All right, here we go. Let's read now. When one of the Pharisees invited Jesus to have dinner with him, the Pharisees, by the way, were the bigwig church leaders. Okay, when one of the Pharisees invited Jesus to bigwig means actually they're the big shots. When one of the Pharisees invited Jesus to have dinner with him, he went to the Pharisee's house and reclined at the table. That was normal. Okay, that's just how they had dinner. A woman in that town who had lived a sinful life learned that Jesus was eating at the Pharisee's house, so she came there with an alabaster jar of perfume. That was not uncommon, by the way, for people to find out where Jesus was, or where a great teacher was, or a great teaching was happening, and people would gather. And the dignitaries in the town would love to have him in their house, so other people could come by and they would get a lot of credit for having introduced them to the community. All right. And notice here, it said a woman in town who had lived a sinful life. Now, how do we know she lived a sinful life? She was kind of well known in town as one living a sinful life. Now, that was what's happening in her life. That was her circumstance. That was her situation. You don't have to be living a sinful life to have a need. Let me say that again. You don't have to be living a sinful life to have a need. Your need, her need, was to change her lifestyle. Your need may be for healing. Your need may be for financial blessing. Your need may be for a restored relationship. Your need may be for a job, for a career, passing a test, getting a new automobile, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Mending your relationship with your mama, your dad, finding Uncle Joe and helping him out. You get it? There may be a need in you. Some of you may have a need. It may be a medical need. It may be a psychological need. Some of you may be facing depression, or some other type of anxiety upon you. There are needs you have, so don't limit this to just saying, well, I don't sin, okay? Although that fits a lot of us, I don't sin, but it's about a need, okay? So she had a need, all right? And everybody in town knew what hers was, okay? When the Pharisees, by the way, there are those who know what your need is too. You're trying to hide it and pretend. You have trouble with anger. Everybody knows you have an anger problem, and you're trying to pretend like you don't. You have a need. Everybody knows that you're selfish and self-centered, and you're trying to pretend like you don't, like they don't know it. Everybody in town knows who the gossipers are, and they know that it's you. All right, and you're trying to pretend like they don't. So you have a need too. All right, moving on, verse 38. And so she stood behind him. She brought an alabaster jar of perfume. That was an expensive perfume. All right, she went to Macy's, okay, or whatever store that sells expensive perfume. So she had she has her alabaster jar of perfume, verse 38, and she stood behind Jesus and at his feet weeping. She was crying, okay? Now, we don't know all of why she was crying, but I imagine, as she's meeting him, she has his need, she's overcome with it, and sometimes we become overwhelmed with our needs, don't we? And our emotions show. Some of us think we're hiding our emotions. Some of us are sad, and we try to walk through the church or walk through the community or walk through our house like we're not sad, and we try to put on that fake smile, but it's there. You're weeping, okay, because you have a need. You're afraid of something. Something's really bothering you. It could be a family situation, and it's bothering you, and it's getting the best of you. It's showing. So he was weeping. She began to wet his feet with her tears. Then she wiped them with her hair, kissed them, and poured perfume on them. Now, some believe that she was wetting with the tears to try to wash them or what have you. It could be simply she was standing behind Jesus, started to cry, and it started to fall on his feet, and she took her hair and wiped it off. And so as she wiped it off, she apologetically kissed them, apologized for touching the prophet. You get it? All right? So here's something you need to understand. Sometime you're not going to try to touch Jesus, but you're going to touch him. Each time you weep and you're weary, you touch the heart of God. Absolutely every time. So what she did was she basically honored him by saying, you know, I didn't really mean to do that. But let me tell you something today. God doesn't mind you touching his heart. So she touched Jesus. When the Pharisees saw this, he said to himself, if this man were a prophet, he would have known the woman who is touching him, what kind of woman she is, that she is a sinner. Okay? So here's something you need to understand. Not everybody wants to see you get better, and not everybody believes that Jesus has the power to make it happen. Not everybody believes that God is going to bless you. Okay? Some are going to make fun of what you do, and some are going to find a reason to talk against where you are. Don't worry about it. Okay? Don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. Okay? All right. Jesus answered and said, Simon, let me tell a story. So Jesus told a story. Verse 41. Two people owed money to a certain lender. One owed 500 denarii and other 50. Neither of them were able to pay it, so the man forgave the debt. He said, which of them did you think felt better about it? Verse 43 said, I suppose the one that had the bigger debt. And Jesus said, you have judged correctly. Then he turned and said this. Watch this. He said, this is verse 44. Then he turned towards the woman and said, do you see this woman? I came into the house. You did not give me any water to wash my feet. And that was an honorable thing to do to someone when they came into your house, wash their feet. But she wet my feet with her tears and wiped them with her hair. She did something to build a relationship that no one else had done. And that is one of the things when it comes to prime favor. Prime favor, okay, all right, is that area of faith that allows you to build a relationship, okay, all right. And the only requirement, okay, is that you're willing to build that relationship starting right where you are. That's the only requirement. So prime faith is about building a relationship, and you're willing to build that relationship right where you are. Are you willing to build your relationship of faith right from where you are? You're angry, you're frustrated, you're depressed, you're sick, you need physical healing. You can't get around the way you used to. The meds aren't working, and when they do, you don't feel good. Start where you are and build a new meaningful relationship with God and watch him bless you. Prime your favor by establishing that relationship. All right. You see, because prime favor is an area of faith where you don't have to be the best person to experience God's power over your situation. Prime favor is an area of faith where you don't have to be the best person to experience God's power over your situation. Now, I'm afraid to ask the question tonight, how many people know that they haven't been the best that they could be? But you don't have to answer that. But some of you know you haven't been the best you could be in your relationship with your husband, with your children, with your parents, with your co-workers, with the pastor, with the slow girl at the Walmart. Some of us know we haven't been the best in terms of caring for the temple that God has given us. One Krispy Kreme is a treat. Too many Krispy Kremes will get the best of you. You get the point I'm making here. We need to ask ourselves, am I being the best I can be with where I am? This woman did the best she could do with where she was. Her lifestyle was not anything to brag about. But when she came to meet Jesus, she did the best she could do. No, it didn't match the Pharisees, but she did the best she could do with where she was. That's what you want to do. As a matter of fact, she did very well, bringing alabasters when she could have sold it and made some money. Okay, let's see. All right. Verse 45. Said, you did not kiss me, but this woman from the time I entered has not stopped kissing my feet, showing a position of honor and respect. You did not put oil on my head, but she has not stopped pouring out perfume on my feet. Therefore, I tell you, her many sins have been forgiven. Her many sins have been forgiven as her great love has shown, as her building the relationship has shown. Again, prime favor is about building a relationship that allows the blessing to flow in your direction. What kind of relationships are you building that's helping blessings flow in your direction? What kind of relationship with God are you building to help that relationship so that blessings flow in your direction? Yes, you might not be the sinful woman, but you do have needs. Whatever your needs are, you need to believe that they can be met. But favor needs to flow in your direction. There is favor. Now we want to make the relationship so that it flows to us. All right. So Jesus said, your sins are forgiven. The other guests began to say among themselves, who is he that he forgives sin? Here's something you want to recognize. When you're in the midst of God blessing you, you don't have to argue with the people who don't get it. Let me say it again. When you're in the midst of God blessing you, you don't have to argue with the people who don't get it. When they don't get it, just let it be. You don't have to post on Facebook, they don't get it. Okay? Just let them be. When God is sending you blessings, he's sending you blessings. Don't curse your blessings by arguing about it. Okay? When they don't get it, they don't get it. Some of your family members don't understand why you're so blessed. That's because you do things to prime your favor. It could be your spouse. Don't understand why you're so blessed. You've done things to prime your favor. In your community, you've done things to prime favor. Okay? All right. Jesus said to the woman, your faith has saved you. Go in peace. Prime favor brings peace to a chaotic life. Let me say it again. Prime favor brings peace to a chaotic life. All right? Okay? And so that's what you want to look for in your life. You want to start to look for prime favor. Because you see, what prime favor does, let me tell you how it works. Let me just tell you real quickly how it works. The way prime favor works is this. You see an opportunity to establish a relationship. And you do that by some act of faith that lets it be known that I want to establish the relationship. You get it? That's why many people today still go to church. They're signaling God that I still want to establish a relationship. All right? You follow? That's why some people still give offerings and give love gifts, because they are signaling God that I want to establish the relationship. That's why some people sing when they're tired. They preach when they're wore out. Okay? They dance when their feet are worn. They still help others when they themselves are sick. There are some people who are sick of the same disease that they're helping other people with. Those people are blessed and keep going because their favor has been primed. You see, because prime favor gives you an internal spirit, okay, that lets you go and keep going and keep doing when doing can't be done. Okay? When doing can't be done, you need prime favor. All right? When they say you can't go anymore, you need prime favor, because the blessing will flow back to you and completely renovate and change your life. This woman left a new person. And that's what prime favor does. Okay? All right? Prime favor repairs the brokenness. Prime favor repairs the brokenness and makes you into a new person. You want to be a new person in your life? Prime your favor and watch what starts to happen for you and to you in your life, just like it did for this lady. You want your brokenness mended? Prime your favor by performing an act of faith that says you want a better relationship. Listen, you can't perform an act of faith with anger and frustration. You can't mend your marriage by still being mad about last year's mistake. There's going to be enough mistakes this year to be mad about. You get it? You need to learn how to go to God. Okay. Establish that relationship, and he'll show you how to mend the others. Some of you need to mend some of your relationships. Prime your favor. Prime your favor. All right. Now, you see, prime favor now is not a bribe. Okay. But what it is, it's not a bribe. But what it is a token of appreciation. Okay. That says, I'm ready for favorable considerations. All right. It's a token of appreciation that says, Lord, I'm ready for favorable considerations. And I'm willing to give the best that I have to offer right now to building that relationship. That's why she gave the alabaster oil. She looked around the house and said, what's the best thing I have to take with me? Okay. And so she took her best, even though she was in her worst. You could do the same thing. You're in your worst situation right now, but you can still pull out your best. All right? Pull out your best from your worst. All right? Hashtag my best from my worst. Hashtag it. My best from my worst. And watch what happens. So with that, let me give you Revis's definition of prime favor. As you know, I like to give you definitions, and I like to use my subject matter when I do that. All right, here we go. Ready? Ready for prime favor? Prime favor is favor wherein you perform an act of honor. Prime favor is favor wherein you perform an act of honor that sets up a relationship whereby blessings flow from a place of spiritual strength to fill a spiritual void or need in your life. Let me say that again. Prime favor is favor wherein you perform an act of honor that sets up a relationship whereby blessings flow from a place of spiritual strength from God to fill a spiritual void or need in your life. If you have a need or a spiritual void, it's time for you to prime your favor with God and allow that to happen. Here's how you can do it. Tomorrow, instead of screaming at the people at work, why don't you smile at them and say hello, shake their hand, and help them out? Parents, instead of talking to your kids about all the bad things they're doing, why don't you compliment them for the things they did do? Husbands, instead of noticing all the things your wife didn't get done, why don't you at least comment on the one thing or two things that she did get done? Wives, instead of telling them how to turn the signal light on 4 times, just limit it down to 2. But do something, okay, that says, okay, I appreciate you. I appreciate the blessing. I appreciate the opportunity God has given me. I appreciate having you in my life. I appreciate what's happening here for me. Yes, I want to get better. Yes, I want to excel more, but I'm going to bring out my best from the worst I'm in now. Okay? I can't bake, but I can buy the pan that the baking's going to go into. You get it? I can do that. All right? You do the best you can from where you are. That's what it's about. All right? You see, what prime favor does, okay, is it sends a spiritual awakening to a dark place in your life. Prime favor sends a spiritual awakening to a dark place in your life. It might not seem dark to you, but it's dark. Is it the right thing to do? Then it's dark. Is that how you should be acting? Then it's dark. Is that how you should be treating your neighbor? Then it's dark. Is that how you should be living your life for Christ? Then it's dark. But prime favor will turn around because you now know that each day you walk out, you're going to perform some act of faith that shows you honor the life that God has blessed you with. You honor the life that God has blessed you with. And you respect those that God put around you. All right? Okay? So let me give you 4 principles that kind of help with prime favor. All right? 4 principles that'll help with prime favor and help you get there. All right? Number 1, don't allow your situation to stop your pursuit. Don't allow your situation to stop your pursuit. You want happiness, but you're angry? Don't let anger stop you from pursuing it. You're broke and you need money? Don't let broke stop you. Okay? Broke won't stop you from filling out an application. You can learn to say, may I help you, please? Most people can do that. Okay? You get it? Don't allow your situation or even your status, your situation to stop you from your pursuit. Number 2, use the best of you that brings honor. Use the best of you that brings honor. Some of you are really tough people. Really tough. Therefore, maybe your job should be as a negotiator. Or maybe some of you should just join the army and get it over with. But find a place where your toughness, okay, can bring honor. You follow? Maybe you should be a referee at the basketball games. You get the point I'm trying to make. There's something about your gifting that can bring honor. All right? So that's number 2. Use the best of you that brings honor. Number 3, don't let the potential shame interfere with the opportunity. Don't let the potential shame interfere with the opportunity. You've been wanting to get up and talk in church your entire life, but you know you don't talk well, you split verbs, and you can't put a good sentence together. Stop letting that stop you. Everybody already know you don't speak well. They know how you talk. They've heard you before. So get up and stumble through the words the same way you do when you're in the parking lot or anywhere else you're out. Okay? You get it? Stumble through it the same way and don't apologize for it. Don't let the potential shame stop you from the opportunity. Okay? All right? And number 4. Here you go. Ready? Number 4. Pour out your best from your worst. I've said it already, haven't I? Pour out your best from your worst. Yep. All right. So one of the things you want to know then with prime faith is that you don't have to wait till you can do something to do it just because you can't. With prime faith, you don't have to wait until you can do something, okay, before you do it when you can't. You can just do it, okay? You got that? You don't have to wait till you can do something, okay, to do it when you can't. You just go do it. That's what they're doing. She didn't wait. She said, this is the best I can do. I'm going for it. So prime faith is that kind of spirit to tell you, I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to flat out go for it. I know it doesn't make sense, but I'm going for it. I want my healing. Somebody type in there, I want my healing. Hashtag me, I want my healing. Okay. Anybody here want your relationship stronger? Hashtag strengthen my relationship. Hashtag it, strengthen my relationship. Anybody want to pass those exams? Hashtag it, I just passed. Hashtag it, I just passed. Go for it before you can go for it. Do it before you can do it. That's what prime favor, I keep saying it, faith, it's the same thing. Prime favor does. Prime favor puts you in that position so the strength of God is going to flow from where he is to you. And I'm going to believe tonight with you that favor is going to flow from God to you tonight for whatever your need is. So tonight before you go to bed, write on a post-it somewhere and write on what your need is. You don't have to tell anybody else. Okay? Write on what it is. And then I want you to put on there prime favor. And tomorrow when you get up, I want you to walk with primed favor. Walk honorably. Bless those you would otherwise cuss. Okay? Help those you don't want to help. Like those you can't stand to like. Be for those that you've always been against. That's what will turn it around for you. So when the opportunity is before you to excel, even when you are not able, do something with honor and sincerity, and God will send favor to activate a change in your circumstance. Because you primed the relationship with him. Prime favor brings new order to your life simply because you took the initiative to establish a point of hope in the relationship. This is Dr. Anthony Revis, Faith Ministries Church, Midland, Michigan, USA. God bless.